Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading. It is the 4th of July, Independence Day in the United States, and so I am going to do the promised reading on Meghan Markle and her presidential ambitions. Not the first time I've read on this. The topic comes and goes. There's waves of news and PR, and then it dissipates, and then another wave, and then that dissipates. The next wave, this most recent wave, kicked off, of course, by that visit to the site of this dreadful school massacre in Texas, which did not hit the right notes at all. She was pilloried for it. Then, of course, she has leapt on the abortion bandwagon. The interview with Gloria Steinem in Vogue magazine, which prompted people like Dan Wootton to come out and say the royals need to clap back with the bullying investigation, because clearly she is all in now as far as her presidential ambitions go. And then a couple of days later, Meghan McCain wrote an article for the Daily Mail, a very funny article actually, about what it's like on the campaign trail and how difficult it would be for someone like Meghan Markle, who likes to travel by private jet, swoop in and swoop out, and not really get her hands dirty, certainly not eat the food that's on offer, the places that she's going to. We saw her refuse food from her hosts in South Africa and in Morocco very rudely. They were both Muslim families, Muslim traditions and customs that she was extremely rude about. So there's that lurking in her background. Meghan McCain writes, "I wish Meghan Markle would pursue her delusional plans to run for president, for no other reason than to see the Duchess, in capital letters, eating deep-fried Oreos at the Iowa State Fair." Of course, she never would. So I'm using, let's just show you, the Mystic Mondays Tarot. It is a Monday. I'm using the Mystic Mondays Tarot. I'm getting better at using this deck actually on Mondays. Not that that's what it's for, but you know, it's a nice shiny deck. All shiny hopes for Meghan Markle about her presidential ambitions. Ooh, the cards are sliding all over the place. It is a very slick deck. They are very slidey cards, very glossy. But I'm going to do a Celtic cross using the Mystic Mondays Tarot, a Celtic cross that I have tweaked quite significantly in the last part. Very specific questions for the universe to hopefully answer for us. For instance, who's going to finance this? Where's the money going to come from? How's she going to handle things like debates? We know she likes her word salad. We know she doesn't like to be challenged in what she says. So how would debates go for her? How would she handle that day-to-day drudgery that Meghan McCain wrote about in her article for the Daily Mail? The campaign trail, kissing babies, shaking hands, pretending to be interested in the humdrum lives of people who you need to persuade to vote for you. How would it go for Meghan? So those are the kinds of questions I'm going to ask. We also want to know how Prince Harry feels about this. I had a little sneak peek yesterday. He didn't look enthusiastic at all, and according to Neil Sean, he isn't. He is something that Meghan can do on her own, and he will sit it out, sit on the sidelines. And what else? Oh, and also according to Neil Sean, she's trying to get Hillary Clinton on board. Looks like she's given up with the Obamas, that they aren't supporting her, didn't invite her to that birthday party. So that seems like a lost cause. So Biden's also seem to have washed their hands of Harry and Meghan. So Hillary Clinton, and as Neil Sean very nastily said, one thing Hillary Clinton knows about is how to lose a presidential election. That was quite a nasty comment. But anyway, true. So we're going to look at all of that in this Celtic Cross Tarot, the Mystic Mondays Tarot. And underlying energy of this is the Four of Pentacles, and that is the hanging on for dear life card. This is something she hasn't let go of yet. She still wants it. Maybe we should put it down there. You can see it a bit better. Oh no, you can't see it anywhere really. Anyway, one of those days when I've really messed up trying to get the cards in the on screen in shot. But anyway, the Four of Pentacles is the underlying energy of this reading. Hanging on for dear life. Really, it's the greedy and mean card as well. This is something she wants, but she wants it for herself. It's not because she wants it to uplift humanity and help and resist perhaps a return of Donald Trump or anything like that. And I'm not picking sides here, by the way. I really don't care. As long as we don't have the Third World War, I'm quite happy with whoever wants to be in the White House. It's fine. It really doesn't, it's not something that I get agitated about. I've got my own politics and my own situation to get agitated about right here in South Africa. So I'm not picking sides, but she clearly is hanging on grimly to this dream and not letting go of it. So let's see, how serious is she about this? Is this just something she keeps flighting? 6 of Wands. She's already defeated. In her mind, she's already defeated. 6 of Wands in reverse for those who are listening and not watching. 6 of Wands upright is, of course, victory. Glorious victory. But in reverse, it's defeat. She feels already that this is something that she's not going to succeed at. That's very interesting. Because my real question here with this center card, the issue, the heart of the matter is, how serious is she? Is she just playing this game so that she get noticed by the Democrats and given some sort of position that doesn't require campaigning, voting, making speech? Well, she does love to make speeches. So maybe something at the UN, maybe an ambassadorship, maybe something like that. Whoops. She is feeling defeated, though. She's not confident at all about this. So much as she's hanging on, she's not letting go of this idea. And note that this is Pentacles, and apologies for the barking. This is Pentacles. This is a money card, the underlying energy. Something here is about money. That one of her chief motivating factors in doing this is money. She needs money. But she's already defeated. What is the challenge? What is the problem for Meghan Markle? Her biggest problem that she's facing. The Princess of Wands, which is the Page of Wands in reverse. I think basically she's not connecting with people. Princesses, pages are communications. And they are junior energy as well. So a very minor interpretation of this card could be something to do with children. There is a problem there, but I'm not going to harp on about that. I have already just read on children yesterday again. But just basically, Page of Wands is about communication, reaching people, because it's wands. It's connecting with them and inspiring people. And she's just not succeeding. She's not hitting the mark. All the stuff that she's done, opinion pieces. She wrote that thing about the miscarriage, as lots of people say. It went down like a lead balloon. Nobody cared. Nobody really believed it. We've had the suicide claims. Nobody cared and nobody believed them. Let's point to the disclaimer in the box below right now. Let's remind you, this is a tarot reading for entertainment purposes. This is all just my opinion. Please do your own research. Please reach your own conclusions. But she is not connecting with people. Her PR, all the money that she's spent, all the messages that have gone out have failed. Her trip to Texas failed. Her interview with Gloria Steinem, enormous criticism, even on the Vogue magazine Instagram account, horrendous criticism. Daily Mail comment section full of criticism, still to this day, even years after she first arrived on the scene. And everyone is really pretty bored with the whole thing now. That initial level of indignation and disbelief has really died down, and now we're all kind of hanging around and waiting for the final act, for the moment of Schadenfreude. But she knows we've got 2 wands cards in reverse. She knows that she's already defeated. She knows that she is not connecting with people. So has been is the underlying energy here, the hidden energy, the behind the scenes energy. How does he feel about all of this? Justice in reverse. It's a big card because it's a major arcana, Justice. He feels that it's going to destabilize their lives horribly if she does this. It's going to knock everything out of alignment. This is not what he signed up for. I would say. This is not how he imagined his life was going to be when he followed her first to Canada and then to United States. It was going to be, we'll be making content for Netflix, we'll be celebrities, we'll be playing lots of polo, we'll be flying lots, we'll be going on lots of holidays, we'll be mixing with all the rich and famous people. Not this idea that it's going to be hard work. We're going to have to deal with legal matters. Justice card in reverse. We're dealing with legal matters here that aren't easy. He is vaguely, dimly aware that there are things in the world, and to do with campaigning, getting on that campaign trail, you would have to understand the law. You would have to understand the American Constitution. You would have to do more than just word salad. You would actually have to do some homework and some reading and become better informed than either of them is. He certainly isn't informed. He's already put his foot in it, mentioning free speech and all the rest of it, being very critical of the American Constitution when he first landed there, and he got shouted down for that. So I think he's nervous about that, the idea of the law involved, the seriousness of it, and doesn't want to go there and doesn't think that she's up to it either, which is quite funny because remember, she's whip smart, she's the most intelligent royal according to her PR, and he is real Dumbo, even according to his own testimony and that of his mother, Princess Diana. He really doesn't have much upstairs between his ears. And he really would struggle. Let's see Hillary Clinton. This is my Hillary Clinton card. Her focus, her goal now is to get Hillary Clinton on board. Not going well. 9 of Swords. It is the 9 of Swords in reverse. The 9 of Swords is worry and woe and struggle and stress and sleepless nights, high anxiety. She's running out of people to help her. She's lying in bed at night, tossing and turning, wondering who she can phone, who will take her calls. She's already been through her little black book, campaigning for family rights, family leave and all that stuff that then of course got Markle, knocked off the bill that was going through, and that all fell apart and everyone said she Markled it, and cold calling senators and saying, hello, I'm the Duchess of Sussex, and she was going to have a dinner party with all of them and meet them all. That never happened. Invited onto some committee, that never happened. So things are pretty bad and she's pretty worried about it. Card is in the reverse. She's trying to get over that worry and that struggle and trying to connect and trying to make it all work, trying to get Hillary Clinton on board, but it doesn't look like Hillary Clinton is even vaguely enthusiastic about it, and it looks like she's her last hope. 9 of Swords in reverse. 9s are penultimate energy. We're almost there, we're almost finished, we're almost done, almost run out of steam. You'll all be very relieved to hear that. Past. What is the past going to, what impact is her past going to have on this? We've got lots of skeletons buried. Well, 8 of Cups, walking away from the past. Trying to leave the past behind. We have husbands left behind, fathers left behind, workmates left behind, a royal family left behind. We have a lot of people left behind, not to mention all the other sordid secrets that allegedly lie around that one can speculate about, and many people do speculate about. We don't even need to go there, because here we have 8 of Cups, which has a kind of ghosting energy in this reading. She's going to be haunted by this, by the fact that she's walked away from so many people, so many situations. She hasn't stuck it out. She hasn't been loyal. She hasn't stayed in situations that were difficult and made them work, fixed them. She has just walked away, and that is going to haunt her. Also interesting, this picture, because it reminds me of photos of her in her Tig days when she was on holiday a lot, in the Med, topless photos, drinking her rosé all day. Has that kind of energy too, and I think a little bit of a party vibe coming through there, that people could have things to say about the way she lived her life back in her 20s and her early 30s, when some more serious people who might have presidential ambitions were actually doing real work, holding down real jobs, doing charitable work, campaigning, doing that kind of stuff. Meghan was out partying and really not caring. She only acquired a social conscience courtesy of her previous agent when she was trying to seal the deal with Prince Harry, and suddenly she was addressing the UN and going to Rwanda and India and talking about menstruation and all the rest of it that she suddenly became so excited about. So what's next? What are we going to hear next? Are we going to hear her? She's thrown her hat in the ring. What's going to happen? Ooh, giving up. 10 of Wands, but 10 of Wands in reverse. 10 of Wands, when it's upright, you keep going, you're carrying those terrible burdens, very heavy energy. But when the 10 of Wands is in reverse, you put those burdens down, you can't do it anymore. She's going to give up. Underlying energy, remember, was the hanging on for dear life. This is something she really, really, really wanted. But here, in the near future, she's going to give up. Very interesting, because there are things swirling around in the background, weird stuff about children, strange things to do with family, her parent, her father. Doria has disappeared. There is, of course, financial issues that may be swirling around, marital issues that may be swirling around, bullying investigation hanging over her head. I've read on that. It is a real sword of Damocles hanging over her head. She is going to give up. So you're not going to see that name on a ballot paper. Rather a pity, because it would really be quite entertaining, but we can't put a whole legal system and democracy itself at risk just because of our need to be entertained in these strange times we live in. I do understand that, though. It is quite disappointing, but let's see how she would do. These are speculative cards. These are the ones that I've really rewritten for the purposes of this reading. First of all, where would the money come from? If she were to set off on the campaign trail, 4 of Cups in reverse, she would have to go begging to people who have said no to her or she has turned down herself. People she might have treated quite contemptibly in the past, people she might have ghosted. We might even see people like Oprah in this card, because of course things with Oprah have gone pear-shaped since it turned out that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry both lied dreadfully and shamelessly in that interview. And I don't have to say allegedly, because they are proven lies, documented lies. So she would have to go cap in hand to people that she has treated badly, that she has snubbed, rebuffed, or who have in fact rebuffed her. Tyler Perry, all those people, those names come to mind. People like the Obamas as well, all those celebs that seem to have ghosted her, the George Clooney's, the Elton Johns, all the rest of it. She would have to go cap in hand to them and say, please, 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 my bank account is empty, and well, maybe it's all offshore, who knows, that's a joke, by the way, for entertainment purposes, and help. So how would she handle debates? How would debates go? I'll slide that card out the way. How would debates go? Queen of Cups. Very emotional. It also tells me she might get a little bit tanked up before she takes to the stage, and we've seen her do that before. There are occasions, particularly when she was in the royal family, still a working member of the royal family, I use that term loosely, where she looked a little bit worse for wear in her public appearances and her engagements. Maybe popped a pill, maybe smoked something, maybe drank something before she went out to calm her nerves. And let's say that is pure speculation. I'm just going by some rather strange photos that circulated, pupils that didn't look quite normal, and the rest of it. But anyway, so that's the first thing. She might have to self-medicate to pluck up some Dutch courage. And Tess is the one crying in the background. She's trying to come through to the room where I am, but she's got to make her way past the dog who is sitting in the doorway to get to me. So Queen of Cups also is playing the Diana card, playing on people's emotions, their heartstrings. It would be very emotional. She wouldn't really come up with anything of substance, which is why we have the Justice card in reverse. She wouldn't know much about anything, but she would go on at an emotional level and try and persuade people that she's there because she feels for them and she's so full of compassion and humanitarian and blah blah, all of that. So that's the line she would take. It would be quite funny to see again, but as I say, democracy can't be held hostage by Meghan Markle's ego or my need for entertainment and schadenfreude, and not only my need but many thousands of other people's need for entertainment and a bit of schadenfreude. One of my favorite words. You might have noticed how many times I've said it in this reading. Let's see, the third card that I have designated with a specific meaning for this Celtic cross. Let's see how she would handle those deep fried Oreos at the Iowa State Fair and other such things that she would have to do and humiliate herself. She managed to humiliate herself on the Ellen show quite successfully. The Hierophant. She would, oops, we've got a little confrontation going on at the door. Sorry about that little interruption. I had to go and sort dogs out. But we've got the Hierophant here as the answer. It's a major arcana. She would stand on her dignity. The Hierophant is very much about dignity and things being in their proper place, and people respecting authority and people higher up. We would be reminded constantly of the fact that she's a duchess. I don't know how that would go constitutionally in the United States. I didn't think you were allowed to have a title, even an honorary title. Your title via your husband has been in order to take office, to campaign. But we would be reminded constantly that she's a member of the royal family. She's far superior to everyone else. Hierophant is about status and the status quo, and she would be reminded, and it's a very interesting depiction of the Hierophant, by the way, when we are talking about American politics and what's on your banknotes there in the United States and various other places. I'm not putting my tinfoil hat on. I'm not going down conspiracy theory lanes in this reading, but it is a very interesting card that has shown up here. And just make the mind boggle just a little bit. Perhaps, well, she couldn't really be a member of that organization, although allegedly there are female members. Too high and mighty, possibly because of membership of strange or secret organizations, to stoop so low as to eat deep fried Oreos. Who knows? Very curious card to come up in this reading. Luckily, we have the Ten of Wands in reverse that tells us that in the not too distant future she's going to give up her presidential ambitions. Let's see the final outcome of this reading. What is going to be happening? Yeah, we've got double confirmation here. The Nine of Wands in reverse. She really is going to give up. We've got the Ten of Wands in reverse as near future, and then the final outcome, Nine of Wands in reverse. Nine of Wands, when it's upright, is standing your ground and a last gasp. You're down but not out. You're protecting yourself. You've got all those wands around you. You're battle scarred, but you're still standing there. But when the card is in the reverse, you give up. You can't, you just don't have any energy left to fight. You are defeated, you are too wounded, you're too damaged. She's going down. She is going down. This isn't going to happen. It might be quite a spectacular downfall with the Ten of Wands in reverse and the Nine of Wands in reverse. We've got the Nine of Swords in reverse as well. We've got lots of culmination and completion energy in this reading. She knows she's defeated. That's the heart of this reading. She already knows. Six of Wands in reverse. She knows she's not connecting with people. Prince Harry is out of it. He's saying absolutely not. We don't know enough about the situation to have a go at this. It looks like Hillary Clinton is a big no. It looks like her past could come back and bite her, especially her emotional past, her family, ex-husband, her father, friends she dumped. There are a couple of important friends she dumped. For instance, Jessica Mulrooney. Very important connections in Canada, political connections. That might come back and bite Meghan Markle too. But she's giving up. She's quitting. This is the interesting card in the reading. And one day, perhaps, just for fun, we'll do a little bit of digging around this card. That's the reading. Enjoy the rest of your 4th of July, and I will very hopefully see you tomorrow.